Thanks for joining for practice today. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. In the description is a link to the Patreon account. We really appreciate any donation you can offer. Namaste. Move the flesh from your sit bones, sit tall. And just take a moment to close the eyes. Rest the backs of the hands on the knees, palms facing up. Anchor the sit bones down into the earth. Lift through the crown of the head, feeling the back of the skull lift and chin draw in slightly. And then settle in for a moment to this time and space by observing the belly breathing. Inhale, expanding, and exhale, contracting. And as you settle in, begin to listen to the sounds around you. At first, becoming aware of more distant sounds. And then some sounds that are closer. Just take in sound. And begin to feel sensation on the skin. Notice the familiar feeling of your clothes, where the body meets the earth, temperature. Just take in sensation on the skin. Begin then to notice your thoughts. Notice the quality of them, the speed or rate. Notice how one thought links to another thought, sending us on a thought pattern. And then begin to observe that which is watching or noticing the thoughts. Observe yourself, noticing your thoughts. In other words, who's doing the watching? And as you begin to observe yourself watching the thoughts, then the observer, observing the watcher, begins to link the subject and the object to one. And take a moment just to feel that integration. And we can acknowledge that as the highest self, the observer. In Patanjali Yoga, they call it the drashtar, the seer. And staying established in that presence, begin to expand now the belly, the ribs, and the chest into a full diaphragmatic breath. And then exhale, contract the abdomen, feel the rib cage draw closer together, let the chest soften. Again, inhaling belly, then ribs, then chest. And exhale, belly, then ribs, then chest. And as you breathe diaphragmatically here, try to make the breath as smooth and as even as possible. And as you breathe this even, smooth breath, add in a little ujjayi sound, that ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath. This helps us to stay embedded, our consciousness embedded in the practice of breathing. We have an auditory stimulus so that the mind can stay focused. And as you feel the mind absorbed in the breath, begin to count the inhalation and exhalation and figure out what your breath count is in this calm and relaxed state. So what's an average count? Some people are at a 4-4, maybe you're 5-5 or 6-6. Just see what's comfortable for you here in this state. And then this is the breath count that we're going to maintain throughout the practice. So when we get into some stronger physical asana, particularly sun salutations, might challenge that count a little bit. But whenever we can remember, we're going to return back to that calm state that allows us this depth of breath. So one more here, please. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum, bow your head to your hands. So we'll set the intention of the practice today to really be about developing or establishing that witness consciousness, the ability to observe, to be the seer, to stay rooted in that calm observation. It's like the non-judgmental witness. And in Yoga Sutra 133, Patanjali talks about being able to calmly observe the things that are around us so as to not become disturbed. And this is easier said than done, a practice that we all have to be very vigilant about. So just going to work on practicing that in our class today so that we can create that pattern in the mind and feed it so that it becomes stronger, so that when we're out in the world, we may be able to call on that pattern and be that calm observer. So take a deep inhale in here and take a long exhale out. And we're going to begin with the chant of Om 3 times. So deep inhale in. Just lower your chin to your chest and take a moment as you blink your eyes back into the room, seeing with that fresh perspective. Slowly release the hands to the knees. Hold on to the knees and inhale, dip the heart forward. Let the elbows point up and then hold on to the knees, concave the spine, pulling the belly button way back and stretch into the back of the heart. Do that again. Inhale. Dip the heart forward, elbows point up, let that chest release. And then exhale and hold on to the knees, pull the navel back, stretch into the back body. Keep going, inhaling and exhaling. Pull the belly button in, feel that core strength and stability. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then come forward, sit as tall as you can. We're going to make circles. So inhale forward, rotate around, all the way around the hips, and then come forward again. So you're going to still be contracting that abdomen on exhalation, pulling it in, but not going back quite as far. And just notice as you move around in a circle here, around your center, where's the tension being held? Just to be that observer. And then go in the other direction. You might find it's a little bit different. You might have a different sensation and able to observe a new area in the body where maybe prana was a little stuck. Muscle is a little tight. And just one more all the way around. And then sit tall, hold on to the knees, lean back with the chest so the arms straighten, chin is still in so the spine feels straight, and then just release the palms so they face up again. And feel that tall, extended spine. Good, right fingertips into the earth. Inhale, the left arm lifts up, walk the hand out, press the palm into the earth, and now push the left sit bone away. So a lateral stretch here, reaching the fingers away from the outside of the hip. Right ear can just soften towards the right shoulder. No stress or tension in the neck. If you'd like more traditionals, to gaze up at the inner arm. Pinky finger of that extended arm reaches down towards the floor, and the head of the shoulder moves into its socket. And send the breath into any area that feels tight. Keep hugging the navel towards the back body on exhalation. Lean back with your chest. One more breath. And then inhale, lift up with that hand. Come all the way up into seated. Take a moment just to feel the difference now between your right side and your left. Let's do the other side. Left fingertips down. Inhale the right arm up. Walk the left hand out. And now press the right sit bone away. You might find one side's tighter than the other. That's pretty normal. Left ear can just fall to left shoulder. Or if you want to take that gaze up at the right inner arm. Navel hugs the back body. Rotate it to the right so that the chest more effortlessly leans back. Pinky finger reaches down towards the floor as the head of the shoulder pulls into its socket. Notice the rib cage here. Is that lung able to fully expand, or is there some tension there? Last breath. And once again, we're going to lift up with that right arm, come back into a seated position, and then just extend the arms tall and just feel that extended spine. Good. Tabletop position, please. So bring the hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, knees under the hips, tops of the feet press firmly into the floor. On the inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. On the exhale, tuck the toes and find downward facing dog. We're just going to take one full breath here. So notice the backs of the legs, notice the tension or lack of tension in the spine. And then inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. On the exhalation, we're going to move into child's pose. So navel pulls towards the back body, round the back, and take the sit bones all the way to the heels for a brief rest. Inhale, come back up into tabletop position. Lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. And exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, taking 2 full breaths here. So 2 inhales, 2 exhales. On exhalation, make sure to pull the navel towards the spine. And then bring your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, navel to spine. Round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose, brief rest. Inhale, tabletop position. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, down dog for 3 full breaths. Now just notice and observe any changes in the legs and in the spine just from this repetitive action. Keep hugging the navel in and up under the rib cage at the bottom of each exhale for more core stability. Find that smooth, slow, stable breath that you established at the beginning of the practice. Last one here. And then bring your knees to the floor, heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, navel up and back as you come back towards child's pose. Brief rest here. Good. Last one. We're going to inhale, come back up into tabletop. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And it's just amazing that just those 3 times going in and out just create so much more flexibility or familiarity to the body. And so now if you want to still bend one knee and press the other heel down, do that. You can switch sides or pedal the feet a little more quickly if that feels good. The feet can be about hip distance apart. When you're ready to do those alignment principles, those toes are in slightly, heels out, and you roll the inner thighs in and back, allowing those sit bones to really lift towards the heavens. And that elongates the spine, and then roll your shoulder heads away from the ears, hug the inner elbows like you're squeezing a block between them, and then press down firmly through the web of the index and thumb. Keep allowing the head and neck to soften. We have a tendency to grip in the back of the neck, so keep releasing there and checking in. And then stay in that role of the observer as you feel how the breath moves in the body, trying your best to maintain that smooth, even breath. Good, one more. And then bring your knees to the floor. Take your sit bones to the heels once again, navel back as you move into child's pose. And we're going to start with a little bit of an early twist. So take your left elbow just about 3 to 6 inches in front of that right knee. Make a fist with that hand, cup it with the top hand, and lift your chest off your thighs. So you're going to bring in a little bit of a twist here, navel rotating to the right. Chest is off the thighs as much as possible to get as much length in the spine as possible. And then very slowly start to lower the upper arm down towards the earth. And just feel that twist. And if it feels like it's pretty deep this morning, you want to just take your time with it, maybe stop and hover in an area, that's fine. But eventually you're going to work towards the head reaching the earth. And then just breathe here, letting that twist help to release any tension in the spine and any kind of built up patterns in the fascia. One more breath. And then we'll surrender back to child's pose. So just come into the center, take your time to unwind, forehead to the mat. And then we'll do the other side. So right elbow about 3 to 6 inches in front of the left knee. Fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top. Push into the forearm so you're lifting your chest away from your thighs. Create that length in the spine first. That's really important. And then slowly start to lower that upper arm bone towards the floor, deepening the twist. And if it gets to the point where the head rests on the earth, that's great. You can relax a little bit, but you'll still feel this unwinding through the spine. One more here. And then we'll come back again to rest in the center, child's pose. Tabletop position, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Rise onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, and step forward to the fingertips. Open the feet hip distance apart and bring your hands onto the backs of the thighs. Squeeze your elbows in towards your side bodies, and on your inhale, lift your chest halfway up, pulling the sternum forward, squeezing the elbows behind you, opening up a flat back. And then exhale the navel to the spine, hands slide down the legs as you forward fold. Keep that again. Inhale, squeeze the elbows in, elbows back, chest is open as you come up. That micro bend in the knee is nice as we're just warming up. Exhale, navel to spine as you fold over the legs. Keep going. Inhaling, exhaling. So this is very much like your monkey pose, just a slightly different variation of doing it. And what I really like about this variation is that it helps to maintain that long, flat spine. So with your smooth, even breath, observe the work of the back body, Consciously pull that navel in on exhalation. 3 more. During the cooler months of winter, we do a lot more sitting than we do in the spring and summer. And so it's really helpful to do these practices that strengthen the back body. Last one. And now we're going to stay in the forward fold. You can either keep that micro bend in your knee or straighten your legs, but watch the tendency to sink in the heels. Come forward just slightly in the balls of the feet. And then wrap your arms around the backs of the legs and really hug your chest to your thighs. See if you can get your belly to touch them, and then feel on inhalation, belly pressing into the legs. On exhalation, navel pulling back towards the back body, slightly taking that belly away. Head and neck is heavy. Gravity releases any tension through the spine. Two more. And then sweep your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, take your knuckles up and away from you, stretch out your shoulders. If you want to floss back and forth through those shoulder blades just a little bit, take the knuckles towards the sacrum and then over the head. Again, that repetitive movement helping to open up areas of chronic tension. And then pull the knuckles back behind you, flat spine, press equally into both feet. As you come up to standing, navel in, look up, stretch through the front of the neck. Even jut the jaw forward slightly to get into those scalenes. And then release the head, release the arms. Take a moment here in standing mountain pose just to feel. Find that established, smooth breath we started at the beginning of the practice. And just being in that role of the observer, the seer, the non-judgmental witness. All right, at the front of our mats, big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Stay for the inhale, lower the shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts, open the heart a little more, and then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back, and exhale, step or lightly hop back just to downward facing dog. So from down dog, come onto the balls of your feet, reach your right leg up in the air. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg as high as you can, and now exhale, swing it through for warrior one. Heel to heel alignment, inhale as you rise, opening up through that back body. And then exhale to plank position, pivot on the ball of the back foot, step back. And for the first round, bring knees to floor, squeeze the elbows tight into your side, modified chaturanga, tops of the feet ground. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull back for cobra, and exhale, navel up and back for downward facing dog. Other side, feet are together, balls of your feet, inhale the left leg up, exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left leg as high as you can, and now exhale, swing it through for warrior one on this side. Heel to heel alignment, front knee bent, inhale as you rise. And then exhale, plank position again. This time, if you want, leave the knees lifted for chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. We're going to take 5 breaths. Once again, concentration on the navel pulling towards the back body on exhalation, and stay in that role of the witness. What do you observe? How are things changing? Last 2. you finish the last breath, you're going to come onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale right into monkey pose, so hands on shin or floor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, arms reach, chair. And then stay for the exhale, sink just a little deeper. Inhale, press equally into both feet, arms reach. And exhale, hands to heart. So that's one round, let's do that again. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Stay for the inhale. Open the heart a little more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Hands on shin or floor, but flat back. Exhale, stepper. Lightly hop back to downward facing dog. Feet together, balls of your feet. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg as high as you can. And exhale, swing it through for warrior one. Heel to heel alignment. Inhale as you come up. And exhale to plank position. Again, chaturanga your way, knees lowered or lifted. Knees down, it's cobra as you inhale, or up dog if they're up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feet together, balls of your feet. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left leg as high as you can. And exhale, swing it through for warrior one. Inhale up, full breath. And exhale, plank position again. Squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. And we'll take our 5 full breaths here. Remember those alignment principles. Keep lifting that tailbone up and away. Keep checking in with those areas you know that you tend to grip. Last one. Then come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, stepper, lightly hop forward. Inhale right into monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, arms reach, chair, sink just a little deeper. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hands to heart. We're just going to do one more round. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, chair. Stay for the inhale. Lower shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Open heart a little more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Flat back. Exhale, stepper. Lightly hop back to downward facing dog. Feet together, balls of your feet. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg a little higher. Exhale. Use that momentum to swing through for warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, plank position. Vinyasa your way. And then feet are together again, balls of the feet. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left a little higher. Exhale, swing through warrior one on this side. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, vinyasa. And we're going to take our 5 full breaths here again. So once you get there, find those alignment principles, and then stay in that role of the observer. Where is there tension? Where can you release? Where are you perhaps not engaging enough? Last breath. Rise onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, stepper, lightly hop forward. Inhale to monkey, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale to chair. Stay for that exhale, go deeper. Inhale, lift and rise. And exhale, hands to heart. And then just either keep the hands at the heart or bring them down by your side and rest. Samastiti, just feeling relaxation through the body, some of that movement of prana, Perhaps the heart beating a little faster, some blood flowing. What do you observe? And one of the measurements of health is our ability to switch from being active to that more passive state. And some people are stuck in the on or the active state all the time. And this leads to things like insomnia. And we don't have that ability to flip the switch back to the passive state, to slow down, to calm, to relax. So it's always interesting to observe how long it takes your body the ability to shift gears. And that's something that we can work on developing to get better at. Okay, so Kapalabhati breath is short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils. It's as if a gnat were to fly up your nose and you wanted to quickly get it out. It's a one-to-one breath, meaning that one forceful exhale is to one passive inhale. But we're going to do it a little bit differently by doing it out through the mouth instead of just through the nose. So the position for the body is we're going to keep the hands on the just above the knees, fingertips pointing in, arms straight, spine straight. So the arms are almost like kickstands holding the body up. And then instead of doing it out through the nostrils, which is how it's typically done, we're going to do it out through pursed lips, so like fish lips. Okay? So take a full inhale here. And then exhale about 3/4 of breath out. We're going to do a round of 36 Kapalabhatis out through the mouth. Begin. Slow it down. Take a full breath in, full breath out. We're going to repeat that same thing, but we're going to come up to mid-thigh. Spine's a little bit taller. Arms are still straight like kickstands, trying to hold that spine up. We'll do another round of 36 out through the pursed lips. It's still like Kapalabhati. You're still pumping that diaphragm, but it's just done a little bit differently through a different opening. Okay, full inhale in. Exhale about 3/4 of your breath out and begin. Slow it down. Full breath in and out. Okay, last one. The heels of the hands are going to go right into the crease of where the hip and thigh meet. Again, still holding the spine straight. Arms are straight. Full breath in. Exhale about 3/4 out. Last round of 36. Begin. Slow it down. Slowly come up to standing. Take your time. Feel all that oxygen and prana cleaning and clearing out the body. Just replaced all that stale air in the lungs with fresh oxygen. And then we're back here at the front of your mat, and grab onto one of your blocks, place it between your inner thighs. So if you don't have a block, you can do this without a block. That's perfectly fine. As you squeeze the inner thighs and they rotate inward, it feels like the block's going to pop out behind you, but it won't. And it just provides a lot of stability there through the legs. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Now lower the shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Inhale, squeeze your block and lift your heart just a little bit more. And then exhale, stay. You might come out of it slightly with your breath, that's okay. Do that again. Inhale, lean back, fill the body with breath, just a slightly deeper back bend, and exhale. We're going to keep moving like this with the breath. It's very subtle. I want you to stay in that role of the observer, how the breath wants to move you. Now, if you're really comfortable here, on the top of the inhalation, just bring a soft pause into the breath. During that pause, observe. Exhale as soon as you need to, no strain. Navel hugs in on exhalation. 2 more here. Good. Inhale, slowly press into the feet. Come up. And now exhale and forward fold. Keep the block there. Head and neck is relaxed. Keep squeezing the block. Notice how that helps to support the forward bend. Let the head and neck relax for a moment. And then release that block from between the legs. Stay in the forward bend with the feet hip distance apart. Plant your left hand in the center, right in between where the feet would be, but just underneath the head. And then rotate the navel to the right, reaching the right arm up while bending the left knee. And just feel the navel stretch and rotate to the right. Breathe here. One more. And then exhale and soften back down to the center. And we're going to switch sides. So right hand now in the center underneath the head. Rotate the navel to the left, lifting the left arm up in the air, bending into the right knee. Breathe here. You're squeezing, wringing out any tension there in the back body. And then slowly release and step your left leg back, coming into a high lunge position. Front shin bone pressing away from the back heel. Inhale, anchor into the feet and bring both arms up and over the head. Now interlace your fingers, index and thumb point up, Sepana Mudra. Lean over to your right, so you're leaning towards your bent knee leg. Just over to the right side, and then feel how that whole left side body opens. Observe the breath, observe the body. Come back to center. Now, extend the arms out wide and rotate the navel to the right. And you're just coming into a twist to what you're capable of doing. You're not going to have any leverage by having the elbow down or using the arm to twist. This is just what your body is able to go to. Keep getting taller. Keep rotating to the right with your breath. And then one more. Inhale back to center. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a moment there. Just let that blood level out. Observe any changes. And then inhale to plank position. You can lower the knees or keep them lifted for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, heart forward. And exhale to downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward to the fingertips, come into high lunge position. Feel the front shin bone press away from the back heel, fingers in a finger stand. When you're nice and stable, press into the feet, bring the arms up. Good. Interlace the fingers, index and thumb point up. And now once again from here, you're going to lean towards that left side or towards that bent knee leg. Opening up the right lateral this time. Back leg is strong. Keep lifting up and out through the heel. And then inhale, come back to center, extend the arms out wide, and now rotate the navel to the left. Stay strong in your back leg. Inhale, grow a little taller. Exhale, squeeze and wring out just a little more. As you stay in the role of the observer, watch how the breath wants you to move. Be soft enough that you can allow it to move with it. One more. And then come back to center. And bring your fingertips to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a moment. Let it settle. And then Vinyasa. Inhale to plank. Knees lowered or lifted, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. One more breath here. Now, step your left foot forward to your fingertips and spin your hands towards the center in between your legs, turning your toes in, heels out, and come into wide foot spreading posture. So fingertips are going to line up with the toes for a moment. Draw the crown of the head towards the earth. Bend the elbows through the legs. Watch the tendency here to sink in the heels, so come forward just slightly in the balls of the feet. Breathe deeply here. Notice as you surrender the layers in the back of the leg opening up for you. Now we're going to move in and out with a little bit more abdominal work, working with the bandhas. So we'll start without using that at first. Inhale, just walk your hands forward underneath your shoulders, lifting your sternum as far away from you as possible. And then exhale, walk your hands back. It's very simple. Just moving in and out of the forward fold. So again, inhale, come forward, flat back, extend, exhale, walk the hands back. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you feel comfortable with retention, you're going to inhale, come forward. And this time as you exhale, you're exhaling all the breath out as you walk back. So every last little bit of air leaves the body. Now hold the breath out. Don't breathe in and come forward again. As you do, suck the navel deeply in and up under the rib cage. Lift the sternum a little further. And as soon as you need to breathe in here in this extended position. Filling that back body with breath. And repeat it. Exhale, all the breath leaves the body as you forward fold through the legs. Get every last bit of breath out that makes it easier for the suction. Now hold the breath out. Don't breathe in. Slowly pull away. Let that suction pull the navel deeply in and up under that rib cage. Hold as long as you can. As soon as you need to breathe, breathe in. Fill the back body with breath. And again, exhale all the breath out. Keep going. It's a very personal practice. Do it at your own pace. Remember that the more air you get out, the easier that suction is. Two more. On the last one, fold through the legs for a moment. And come forward one more time. This time we're going to plant that left hand in between the shoulders or right underneath the face and twist the right arm up. It's actually a little easier to do with the legs wide. So if you have a lot of flexibility, make sure you're externally rotating your left thigh. So really rolling that out to the side. Gaze is either at the horizon or if you've got the ability to look up at the hand, that brings the full twist into the neck. Again, each inhale, get longer. Each exhale, rotate deeper. And then gently soften down. Go back into the forward fold, fingertips lined up with the toes. Rest for a moment. And then come forward again. This time the right hand's underneath the face. Left arm's gonna lift up in the air. Rotate that navel to the left. If you're really flexible, externally rotate that right thigh. Stay in that role of the observer, observing breath and how it wants your body to move. Maybe it's telling you to back off a little. Maybe it's telling you to go deeper. One more. And then slowly come back. Line your fingertips up with your toes, crown of the head towards the earth, forward fold. Again, notice even just through that repetition as the body found a little more space. And now we've been here for a while, so come back with the hands under the shoulders so the blood levels out. Heel toe your feet in, all the way to the center. And then we're gonna come onto the balls of the feet and move into squat. So heels are lifted here. And then come as tall as you can with your hands in front of your heart. And to squat. And some people can get the heels to come down, but in this particular case, we're gonna stay in the balanced variation of this pose. And then we're gonna let the knees widen as you let the chest sink on the inside of the legs. And then wrap your arms around your heels and come into traditional malasana. Garland pose. Head and neck is relaxed. Breathe here. Keep allowing the balls of the feet to reach into the earth and the knees to open wide. And then slowly come out of that. You're going to turn so that the soles of your feet are as close to facing one another as possible and let the knees widen here. This is candlestick pose. And then slowly release, straighten the legs. Standing forward fold for a moment. Let the feet just soften. Hands to hips, scoop the heart, slowly rise up. And then just take a moment to let the blood drain. We were down there for a while. If you want to roll shoulders up and back, whatever you need, and then find samastiti, find standing mountain pose. Again, be in that role of the observer. Okay, so weight into your left foot. Take the right foot on top of the thigh. Flex the foot, hands to prayer at the heart. And then we're going to come down into squat. So more like a chair pose. As you sit back, just allow the knee to rotate, open that hip. As you let the sit bones sink down, absorb the tailbone in very slightly, and lift the lower belly for more support. Sternum is forward. Hands are just softly pressing into one another. Now, if you're really comfortable here, you can just stay, or if you'd like, you can come down onto the ball of the left foot and then see if you can balance here. And then if you're really comfortable and you'd like to try a little bit more of a balanced pose, a little bit of core strengthening arm balance pose, you're going to bring your hands into the floor, hook the right foot around the left upper arm, and then bring the right knee onto the right upper arm. And you're going to rest that shin bone across the upper arms and extend the left leg out. And just balance there for a moment. And then come back in when you need to. And we'll slowly go back to that chair, modified chair, and then slowly back up. Take a moment here. Just breathe. Observe. Any of those stages you were at, perfectly fine. Each challenging the balance, the core. And how quickly can you shift back to that calm state? Other side. Weight's going to go into the right foot. Left foot goes to mid-thigh. So you're flexing the feet, hands to the heart. Again, you're sinking down. It's like going into a squat or a chair. Let those sit bones reach back behind you. And you want to make sure that the heart is forward so that we're not rounding the upper back. Just like you're about to sit back in a chair, those sit bones are going back, but there's a very subtle lift of that pubic bone, navel in and up for support. And then again, if you want to keep going, you can come down into squat, rising onto the ball of the bottom foot, and just see if you can balance there. Maybe test one hand, then the other. If you want to try that final stage, straighten that bottom leg, bring the hands down, and you've got to set yourself up so you're hooking the left foot around the right upper arm, and then the knee is going to go on the left upper arm. And that way, you have like a little shelf. As you sit on top of those arms, you're going to hook that shelf and extend the back leg back. I'm going to challenge you. And then come back into that chair position and slowly up to standing. Release the leg. Take a moment. Maybe notice some warmth. Maybe breath's a little challenged. Can you slow it back down? One more here. And we'll vinyasa our way to the floor. So here at the front of your mats, have your big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Chaturanga your way, knees lowered or lifted. Inhale into cobra or up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Now just bring your knees to the floor and sit tall on your heels. Tailbone absorbing in, lower belly lifting, and rest. Hands into the lap. So left hand under the belly, right hand on top, thumbs touch. Dhyana Mudra. Feel the tailbone to the crown, all that space in the spine. And if you were caught up in some of the physicality of the last few poses, just take a moment or two to shift back to that deep conscious awareness. The role of the non-judgmental witness, the observer. Hips to one side, legs out in front of you. We're going to come down onto our backs for bridge pose. So hold on to your knees, pull the navel towards the back body, and come down onto your back. Bridge pose has your feet hip distance apart, and you want to bring your sit bones as close to your heels as possible. Maybe you can lightly touch the heels. Arms are down by your side to start. We'll do a few rounds dynamic, so pressing into the feet, roll up through the spine one vertebrae at a time, and then exhale and slowly roll down, really hugging the navel towards the back body as you come down. And repeat that again. Inhale, roll up, feeling each bone as it peels off the mat. And then exhale and slowly roll down. Good. Again, as you're rolling off that mat, notice the knees, keep them together, don't let them splay apart. Imagine you're hugging a block there. And exhale, come down. 2 more like this, please. With your even, smooth breath. Good. Now we're going to change the breathing just a little bit. On the inhale, you're going to roll up through the spine. Stay for the hold at the top of the inhale. Just a little pause, and now exhale, keep the spine lifted as you let the breath out. Hold the breath out at the bottom of the exhale, don't breathe in, and slowly roll down again and see if you can feel that same suction we were working with before. And then when you get to the bottom, take a recovery breath. So an inhale, exhale. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale, press into the feet, roll up through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Top of the inhale, hold. Just a soft pause there, soaking in that prana. Now exhale all the breath out. And then hold the breath out as you slowly come down, feeling that navel, pelvic floor lift, that mula and Uddiyana Bandha. And then when you need to come down, or when you fully come down rather, take a full inhale, full exhale. Again, inhale. Pause. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out. Don't breathe in as you slowly come down. Feel the suction. Inhale, exhale at the bottom. I'm just going to do 2 more like that. Inhale. Pause. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out. Don't breathe in as you come down. Recovery breath. Last one, inhale. Pause. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out as you come down, deepen the suction. Inhale, exhale, recovery. And just widen the feet, let the knees fall into one another, rest the hands on the belly. Full breath in, full breath out. Very nice. Bring your knees into your chest and rock just a little bit from side to side on the spine. And then straighten the legs. Flex the feet, soles of the feet face the ceiling. And you can either wrap your hands around your calves, or if you have the flexibility, hook your index middle thumb around your big toe. You can also use a strap if you have one nearby. Make sure that the tailbone is lengthening to the floor away from the crown of the head, even so much as almost feeling a little lift in the lower back. I'll pull the pinky toe sides of your feet back, lift through the inner ankle. Full inhales, full exhales here. This is very much like doing forward fold, but on your back. Observe. And if you'd like, you can start to widen the legs. Still either holding now the outside edge of the leg or maintaining the bind on the toes. Strap doesn't work so well here. And keep observing that as you're breathing, the body continues to unwind. So witness that. Now we're going to leave the legs in this open position, but release the hands completely. And you're going to inhale, exhale, crunch the core, so navel to the spine, and reach through the legs, taking the shoulder blades off the earth. And then come back down and repeat that again. Inhale, exhale, navel pushes down towards the floor, crunch through the legs, and come back. Again, inhale, exhale. Inhale, and navel back, exhale. Now, if you want to make that a little deeper, inhale. As you move into the crunch, try lifting the tailbone off the earth at the same time. Inhale, coming back down. Again, same thing. It's crunching up, but maybe lifting the tailbone and sacrum as much off the earth as possible. And come down. What we want to avoid is that belly puffing up towards the ceiling, so keep pushing it down towards the floor. Keep going, a couple more. And then just rest. Bring your knees back into your chest. Hug them towards the center. Rock a little bit from side to side on the spine. Take a moment to just rest there. Okay, so we're going to do a variation here of another core strengthener. So take your legs straight up in the air. Thumbs are going to go underneath your hips. So if your arms are a little longer, it's more like your forearms underneath your hips. And then we're just going to slowly take the legs down on inhalation. And keep the legs together. Just let them hover about an inch above the ground. And then on the exhalation, push the navel towards the back body and bring the legs back up. So again, inhale, the legs come down. Try not to involve the upper chest or head or neck. It's very hard, but really try to isolate it in the core. As you exhale, push that belly button down towards the earth. Good. A couple more here. Use your breath. Stay in the role of the observer. Two more. Last one. And then hug your knees into your chest. Once again, rock a little bit from side to side on the spine. Arms out wide into a T, but palms face down. And then we'll take the knees over just halfway to the left, but not all the way. And then come back to center. And then take the knees just halfway over to the right. And repeat that. Back to center, halfway over to the left. Back to center. And just halfway over to the right. One more time, each side. And now this time, as we come back to the left, we're going to stay. So you can just keep the knees together over to the left. If you want to turn the palms up this time, you can. And if you like, you can even straighten that top leg and just place the heel of that foot into the left hand. Navel's rotating to the right. Gaze over the right shoulder. Surrender here. These floor twists are some of the most beautiful twists because our bodies are in a relaxed state and able to really go deep. And then come back to center, and we'll just switch it out. So knees over to the right as you look to your left, and the left arm is open. And again, if you've got that flexibility, straighten the top leg, place the heel of that foot into the hand. As you gaze over the left shoulder, close the eyes, let the body soften. Just let gravity do the work for you. Last one. And then slowly come back. Give yourself one more final hug and bring your forehead to your knees so everything crunches up to the center. Get into that tiny little ball and then release. And we'll prepare for Shavasana. So if you want to put socks and sweaters on, if you're in a cooler room, do that now. So if you need blanket, put a blanket over you. If you feel like you need a bolster under your knees or a pillow, place that underneath your knees. Eye pillow or soft piece of cloth is really helpful to block out the light. Remember that light is a stimulant for the mind. And then once you're ready to settle in here, come onto your back. Let your feet be just a little wider than hip distance apart. Arms are down by the sides, palms face up, but tuck the shoulder blades underneath you so the heart is open. And then just feel your body surrendering into the earth. So much of what we do is an effort to counter the effects of gravity. Now here we're just going to let gravity take hold. It's promised to keep us secure here on the earth. It's almost feeling as if you're being held. And once again, if you feel that you need to be called back to that witness, take on that role of the seer. Maybe you're already established in it. And once again, for a few moments, just watch the rise and fall of the belly. You don't have to shape it or change it in any way. Just observe its natural pattern. And now let go of watching the flow of breath. And observe the pauses in between the breaths. The ones that occur naturally. And just let your mind settle into those pauses as they get longer and longer. Now very slowly begin to just deepen your breath. As the breath comes back in, watch it move through the body, staying in that role of the observer, trusting in its intelligence to move through you in the perfect way. And then run your thumb across your fingertips. Wiggle your toes and start to rotate wrists and ankles. And without rushing, just gently draw your knees into your chest. And then curl to your right side into fetal position. Arm under the head as a pillow. And then placing the hand into the earth, slowly come back up. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. You can prop your sit bones up, if you'd like, on a blanket or bolster. And just find a tall spine, a relaxed body. And with a quiet mind, once again return to witness consciousness, the observer. Notice the strength and the stability in the core from the work that we did. The ultimate stability we can find in our lives is the recognition of who we really are, beyond name and form. So take a moment here to get really still. I'm going to practice what is called kaya sthira, kaya meaning body, sthira meaning steadiness. So any other wiggles or movements you need to make them now. And then begin. Total body steadiness, committing to not moving a muscle. So steeped in a feeling of steadiness, anything that arises in the mind is not steady. It's temporary. It'll change, it'll come, it'll go. It is not eternal. So as you sit in the steadiness, anything that comes up, any thought, any sensation. Repeat to yourself, Neti Neti, or not this, not this. The qualities of the eternal self are unchanging. Anything that arises in fluctuation is not this, not this. Begin. As we clear away the clutter, the habit of movement, return back to that pristine, stable source. A seer. Tada drashtuhu svarupe avasthanam. Then the seer abides in itself. Just gently draw your attention back with your breath. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow your head to your hands. And just go back to the intention that we set and trust. Trust that you received what you could receive and let the rest go. And we'll seal this practice with a chant of Om one time. Deep inhale. Namaste.